Contract Act, Section 7, acceptance must be absolute and unqualified. Section 7 of the Indian Contract Act, 1872 provides that a proposal becomes a legally enforceable promise only when the acceptance is absolute, unqualified, and communicated in the prescribed or usual manner. The section embodies the principle of consensus ad idem, ensuring that both parties agree to the same terms without variation, thereby preventing uncertainty and promoting valid contractual relationships. 1. Purpose of Section 7. The primary purpose of Section 7 is to prescribe the essential requirements of a valid acceptance, ensuring that a proposal becomes a promise only through complete and unconditional agreement. It promotes certainty in contractual dealings by requiring a clear meeting of minds, so that a contract arises without ambiguity or qualification. 2. Meaning of acceptance. Acceptance is the expression of assent by the person to whom a proposal is made, signifying agreement to the terms and a willingness to be legally bound. However, acceptance must satisfy the requirements of the Contract Act, failing which no valid promise or contract comes into existence. 3. Acceptance must be absolute. Section 7 requires that acceptance must be absolute, meaning the acceptor must agree to every term of the proposal without any alteration or reservation. If the acceptance changes any essential term of the proposal, it becomes a counteroffer rather than a valid acceptance, leaving the original proposer free to accept or reject it. 4. Acceptance must be unqualified. Acceptance must also be unqualified, meaning it should not be subject to any new condition, modification, or limitation not contained in the original proposal. If the acceptor introduces new terms, such as a different price or additional conditions, the communication becomes a counter-proposal and not a valid acceptance. 5. Principle of consensus ad idem. Section 7 embodies the doctrine of consensus ad idem, requiring the contracting parties to agree upon the same thing in the same sense. A valid contract arises only when the proposal and acceptance are identical in all essential terms, as any variation prevents the formation of a binding contract. 6. Acceptance must be communicated in the prescribed manner. Section 7 further provides that acceptance must be communicated in the manner prescribed by the proposer, such as by letter, email, courier, or any other specified mode. Where a particular mode is prescribed, the acceptor is expected to follow it, ensuring certainty and effective communication between the parties. 7. Acceptance in the usual and reasonable manner. Where a proposal does not prescribe a particular mode of acceptance, the acceptance must be communicated in a usual and reasonable manner, having regard to the nature of the transaction, prevailing business practices, and the circumstances of the parties. 8. Effect of non-compliance with the prescribed mode. Section 7 provides that acceptance communicated in a mode different from the one prescribed is not automatically invalid, but the proposer may, within a reasonable time, require acceptance to be made only in the prescribed manner. 9. Waiver by the proposer. Under Section 7, if the proposer does not object within a reasonable time to acceptance communicated in a different mode, the objection is deemed to be waived, and the acceptance becomes valid, resulting in a binding contract. For more details, contact us.